Alright people, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification. That way you'll know when I upload the next video and you'll be supporting my channel. Follow me on Twitter. Every time I upload a new video, I'll be tweeting. Horizon Chance, reaction. This is Underrail Expedition Review. Subterranean loading screen simulator. Okay, so it has long loading screens, huh? This is by the channel Sads and Tech. If pain makes us grow, Underrail makes me rock solid. I didn't force the devs to put it on sale for nothing. Alright. Yeah, I've been reacting to Seth's video for past 2-3 days or something. I did react to 1 or 2 videos long ago, but yeah, I don't know. Recently, all the videos I'm seeing is just next level shit, right? All the games are fucking awesome, or I don't know if Seth is making them sound awesome. But yeah, it's always fun to see. So let's watch this one. Remember, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like, subscribe, so I know which type of videos to react to more. Check out other reaction I did, there's a link in the description. Check out the cards or different places of the cards, and yeah, let's watch it. Follow me on Twitter, there I'll be tweeting every time I upload a new video.
Hey people, Seth here. Are you tired of breathing fresh air and enjoying the sunshine? Do you suffer from agoraphobia and hate open spaces? Then why not take a trip down to Underrail? Much like its predecessor, Undertale, this game takes place underground, where humanity exists in a desperate struggle to survive after the surface was nuked by the major megacorporations of the old world into nothing but radioactive ash. Meet the locals, who are either unhinged, unstable, or just unsocial. Meet the friendly wildlife, which include but are not limited to refrigerators, which no longer hold food. Instead, they hold giant crustaceans lying in wait. Beetles, which now have a frontal cortex larger than most humans, which they use to cook you alive. And cave crawlers, which hide on the ceiling and inject your muscles with a paralyzing venom so they can drop down and suck out your insides like a fly. If that doesn't already sound like a great time, why not hop on down to the city, one of the last few remaining bastions of human civilization. And that's not all. We boast one of the highest murder rates per capita in recorded history. You're guaranteed to be shot, mugged, or drugged within the first 24 hours or your money back. So don't wait up. Sign up now and get dominated like
Wait a minute. Okay, so this game is from 2015. I'm surprised in recent time people make a game that looks like this. I mean, yeah, if you're a small time developer, right, just trying to, I guess, put the game out there, games like this would be a perfect example. And I guess in the previous badass games, right, even the Fallout 1 and 2 and Tactics was like this, right? So I guess if you want to show your developing skill, I guess games like this is awesome. So this just sounds like Fallout type of thing, right? Bombs fell and you go on a vault type thing, but in this it's a city, or the Metro game, how that is basically everything is post-apocalyptic and you live in Metro.
pipe worker you are in the best dystopian hellscape on the market today. Underrail is an underground cave fishing simulator with elements of jet ski surfing. It came out at the end of 2015 and it's probably the closest thing to a spiritual successor of Fallout 1 and 2. It's a turn-based CRPG developed by the Serbians, and as with anything that comes from former Yugoslavia, it's absolutely brutal, unforgiving, and brilliant. So why cover it now? Because it also recently got an expansion, Underrail Expedition. Stig generously gave me a copy, so I thought, hey, how long could this possibly take? 1 week and 60 hours later, I finished it. Not the main plot, not the main story, just the expansion. This game is huge. Let's begin. Story. You play as some schmuck with no real ties or background. However, you've been recently accepted as a citizen of Southgate Station, one of the more civilized places in this world. Now, it falls onto you to make sure your new home has a future. And that's it. No great calamity, no great disaster. We're already living in disaster, but we're trying to make the best of it. Good luck out there. You'll need it. Gameplay. Survival is your primary objective. Quests and missions get you paid, but they're always secondary to preserving your own skin. Before you start, you need to make a character, pick an avatar, and then you need to make the difficult choice between Oddity XP and Classic XP. Experts are divided on on opinion, so I'll help you make your choice. With Classic XP, you gain experience from committing murder, and you're gonna commit a lot of murder. With Oddity XP, you don't. You gain experience from dumpster diving, finding old pieces of gum, and looking at shopping receipts. Objectively, Oddity XP is far more realistic, since going through garbage cans and stealing copper wire is how most crackheads level up in real life. It's an experience, and after you experience it once, you'll never want to experience it ever again. Also, don't touch the difficulty. Moving on, you've got skills, perks, and attributes. These are all quite interesting, but I'm not going to explain them. You can't be good at everything, and when logic and reason fails, the only answer you can give is extreme violence. This game doesn't fuck around, and if your build sucks, you're gonna have a bad time. So I strongly recommend you take one of my builds, or builds that I stole from the forums. Doesn't matter which one, they're all pretty good. Combat is a big chunk of the game. Everything is turn-based, so you have to make your actions count, since very often you're outmatched, outnumbered, and outgunned. But unlike your enemies, you're capable of thinking for yourself, and despite the odds, you're very capable of dealing with almost every situation. So come prepared and you'll live a long life. Guns, melee weaponry, traps, grenades, improvised tasers, and crossbows are just some of the tools available to you. If that sounds kinda you can just punch the meat off everything instead. Not only that, but your character also has the potential to harness their psionic energy.
You heard it right here, people. Guns, bombs, and these. Only this matters. This right here.
What's that, you ask? It's actually a very recent mutation which lets humans and other wildlife use magic, and it lets you cook people alive, fry their brains, or strangle them with their own shadow. Why? I don't know, because Underrail takes place in the Harry Potter universe, but instead of wands, you've got implants you inject into your brain, so you can abuse muggles with your mind magic. Thanks, J.K. Rowling. Of course, we can't talk combat without talking about crafting. In most games, crafting is entirely optional. In Underrail, crafting is the difference between life and death. For example, a machine gun, as you may know, is very painful. A single burst at point blank might even zone you out. So what do? We make a tactical vest and shove inside some Kevlar plates. Good work. Now, we don't actually die immediately. So the enemy throws a grenade instead and shreds your internal organs. You're dead. Your money is now being used on the streets to buy both types of crack rocks and crack whores. How do we prevent this? By getting a shield. Not the Roman kind, the energy kind. The kind which has different frequency bands and involves a lot of money. The impact velocity of a grenade, extremely high, so we build a high frequency shield. Bullets don't leave a scratch. Grenades, a mild breeze. But a sledgehammer? Yeah, that's still bad for your spine. Also, your shield isn't gonna stop shit, so you die anyway, and your body
Oh, look at my high-powered, high-intensity shield. Frag grenades are nothing. Plasma grenades are, come on, that's yesterday's thing. What about a sledgehammer?
He participates in the free market. Reload and try again. You get the gist of it. Underrail's combat is a massive game of rock, paper, shotgun, which coincidentally gave this game a very bad review because they're not very good at their job. If we go a little further, here's a little taste of what you can do. Traps are incredibly lethal, so my current character frequently breaks the Geneva Convention by making improvised chemical bombs that digest and melt people's skin off. Since he's good at chemistry, he can spike grenades with RDX, which can depopulate entire rooms. For anything that doesn't die instantly, we torch the room instead with magnesium. Magnesium burns hotter than petrol, fills the room with screaming charred bodies, and as an added bonus, even burns underwater. The crafting system is so damn good, it even inspired me to start crafting in real life. Now, while this sounds like the beginning of a manifesto, it's actually incredibly fun. The amount of creativity and options make each playthrough very entertaining. Aside from combat, there's no such thing as quest markers, just directions, so you'll have to
I bet he creates some kind of a, I don't know, transcript, right? Paper transcript before saying all these things and recording that. That would be the manifesto. If somebody read that. Like, Seth, what the fuck?
learn and navigate the underground yourself. That's no easy task, and it's very easy to get lost, which is why Stig made a world map to help you orient yourself. It's very handy. As strange as it sounds, there's actually zero reason for you to explore. The places you have to be, the places you want to be, are easy to find. Any place off a beaten path is a place you don't want to be. Here's an example. There's nothing there. At least, nothing good. Just a lot of pain, a lot of venom, and a lot of antidotes you have to burn through for absolutely no reward. The caves are just that. Caves. What did you expect? In summary, the caves suck. Don't go there. Also, they remind me a lot of my own apartment. The ceiling recently fell off because of flooding. Did they repair it? No, they just stuffed it with cotton. And everybody pretends we don't have a problem. But at night, we can hear it. I can hear it. Scraping about and gnawing on the pipes. We've got a hobbit living in the crawl space. And it's hungry. This isn't a cry for help, I just wanted to explain my life situation. Anyways, I just leave it some chicken bones or whatever. Usually, he's pretty happy with that. There's not too many quests in this game, but most of them are quite long, and usually have multiple ways to solve them. For example, there's one quest where you have to investigate the serial murders taking place in town. After counting the possibilities, there's 5 different ways to solve it. In one of them, you can discover the bodies, download the serial killer's documents as proof of their guilt.
Why is that any open world RPG type game like Fallout or even this must have an investigator detective type of quest? Like you have to pretend to be an detective asshole, but basically just searching and asking people questions. Like that's not a job, asshole. I mean, it's a charmful if 1 or 2 game does that. If every game does that, like what the fuck?
Guilt and turn them into the authorities. The other 4 involve you being a dumbass and getting drugged by the serial killer. They strip you of your belongings, push you down a shaft, naked and defenseless, into their murder bunker. If you're too slow, they'll walk down and cut you to pieces. If you aren't, you can grab a flashbang, stun them, and crawl into the ventilation system. Once inside, you can either lockpick the safe on their weapons locker and gun them down, put together a weapon to defend yourself, pull apart the fuse box and electrocute them, or hack the bunker's defense systems to gun them down remotely. And that's just a small optional side quest. Another quest line has you following the visions of some stoner at the bar. Help him out, and you'll find out he's not just some random stoner. He's actually an incredibly powerful being that can walk through holes in reality, and he uses this incredible power to steal hallucinogenic mushrooms from the general public. Sometimes, though, his visions aren't exactly accurate, and he does tend to screw up. This includes forgetting about the mutants he locked in his kitchen before he got high, forgetting about the cats he over...
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, a game which has weird anomalies is kind of fun, right? I mean, this is supposed to be post-apocalyptic world, that now there are aliens and dimension-walking people.
Charged in his basement, and forgetting about rift walking health and safety when he teleports you both inside some Slavic military base in the middle of nowhere. He's a great guy, or should I say, a cool dude. This game's got amazing quest design, and if you want more evidence of that, there's another quest which asks you to track down and kill some gigantic savage living among the rat hounds, the self-proclaimed king of the rat hounds. Once there, if you're charismatic enough, he might offer you an alternative. You see, the king of rat hounds has no queen, so you can go off and kidnap some guy's wife. Why? I don't know. That's not important. What's important is that you can provide some crazy caveman breeding material and ruin some woman's life just to see what happens. Dialogue is also very well written.
That just explains 99% of RPG players. Why did you do that? Yeah, you could.
And doesn't drag on. The music and the atmosphere are absolutely perfect. Wherever you are, you feel it. Wherever you are, you're immersed. It's like I'm actually inside an underground ghetto where everyone is either high off their balls from barrel soup or watching live action blood sports on a TV. Underrail is not a game you play once. I'm not biased. I'm just trying to justify my 200-hour playtime. Expansion! So, what about the expansion? The expansion itself is new content you can access around mid-game once you get to Core City. You get hired as a mercenary contractor to defend and assist an expedition into a region no one dares enter, the Black Sea. What's out there? Death, ruins, pirates, And even worse, for some reason, your arrival has really pissed off the Icelandic natives. And let me tell you, there's a lot of them. There's so many of them that it's only a matter of time before they overrun you. No pressure. This expedition was doomed from the start. You also get some sick jet skis and jet ski combat, where you throw surfer dude bro pirates off their skis and watch them drown in the abyss. In Underrail, nobody knows how to swim. And there's a lot of designs.
Seriously?
You can buy anything from the Boomer Core Blazer, the Shark with built-in torpedo systems, to the miniature naval tank Devastator, which is quite self-explanatory and very much lives up to its name. Jet ski surfing is the main way to get around an expedition, and there's some memorable locations. Old facilities filled with malfunctioning AI, eldritch abominations, and tribal burial grounds where you can...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this sounds fun, right? It would be... Look, I have this, I have a hard time playing games like this, who has, engines and mechanics and basically look like that, view from the top, not really a 3D game, right? But if I ignore all that, the game sounds really fun. It's open world, lots of RPG. Like he says, successor to the original Fallout. It could be like that, sure, why not? All this different exploding thing. You could explore different places, AI-filled factory or whatever that was.
Spend half an hour pulling bodies out of swamp juice. The expansion dialogue is also amazing. You can spend half an hour deciphering native language and debating philosophy with the elderly. In general, this expansion is amazing. But I never mentioned, why are you here? What exactly are you looking for? And more importantly, why won't anyone tell you? Those are answers you can only find for yourself. And once you find what you're looking for, you should ask yourself a question. Should I bring it back? Or was it buried for a reason? Criticism. Originally, I had some bad things to say as well, but you know what? I don't care anymore, because the expansion broke me. So if my voice betrays any hint of emotion, that's because I don't handle existentialism very well. And when a man starts to question everything, you might not like the answers you find. Final score. I came for a post-apocalypse CRPG. Instead, I got an exploration of a human condition, of you, me, and this entire species, what drives us, and more importantly, where our species is heading if we're not careful. Also, Taoist philosophy. It's a great game, it's a difficult game, and it's not for everyone. But if you've got the time and patience, it's a very transcendental experience. That is, if you can look past the bad and forgive the tedious. I give it a completely arbitrary score. You can grab a copy of a game and the expansion on Steam or GOG. And if Stig actually followed my advice, it's probably on sale already. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. I might disappear for a little while, since I forgot what outside looks like. I heard it's quite bright out there. A warm thanks to
He said that in September 2019. He only had few months left after that.
Many members of a Merchants Guild, generously funding and bankroll.
Yeah, he only had a few months after that. I hope he went out before he couldn't. Alright. The Underrail Expedition. This sounds like a good game overall, right? A fun game that you could sink your time into, right? It has all the right RPG elements so far as I can see. Again, it's hard to really process that because Seth could make some games sound really good, but this was a good game, obviously. Or the concept of, underground vault type thing. It's a city, not a vault, but it's similar like that, right? How Fallout 1, 2 is. You go to different vaults and shit. So it is like that. It was fucking awesome so far. All the robots and beings that can, I guess go through dimension and shit. Cool dude, whatever that guy was. Alright, well, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe so I know which type of videos to react to more. Check out other reaction I did. There's a link in the description. Check out the cast, check out the end cards. Yeah, I'll see you next time.